Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we are discussing a spectacular tourbillon watch launched in 2005 by Breguet. This is the Breguet Classique Tourbillon, reference 5317 in platinum. The watch is 40 millimeters in diameter by 11.4 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 48.2 millimeters with a spacing of 20 millimeters between the lugs. We'll zoom out and we'll put it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist and appreciate that you can have a monstrous complication with a huge power reserve and automatic winding, and it'll still fit on a smaller wrist. Down the barrel, nowhere near the edge of my wrist. You can see from over the top, I've got plenty of clearance, and the cuff shot with a domed bezel and a low profile, it fits easily underneath any kind of a dress cuff. Wear with security and handsome proportion on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Now in platinum you do feel the mass, and it's a satisfying kind of premium feel, made all the more substantial by the fact that this dial is made of solid gold. We'll talk about that in a moment. The strap, as you can see, is a Breguet factory piece, and you will note it is in brand new condition. It is black with medium rectangular scale alligator leather, a semi-gloss finish, a folded edge, a little bit of bolstering or stuffing to give it volume, and then a monotone stitch. It's calf on the bottom, calf skin, and here we have a system whereby the strap is actually held onto the lugs using screws and bars. That's a robust and upscale system that's a bit more expensive to manufacture than simple spring bars, but it also gives you greater security against accidental separation of the strap from the case. The buckle, as you can see, is a single fold deployant, and the single fold deployant is fully finished. You can see it is a Breguet factory piece, and that it is platinum to match the case. No white gold buckles with platinum cases at Breguet. Other brands do that, Breguet does not. The case is handsomely handmade. The side is cold rolled to create this coining, and then hand finished to remove any imperfections. The lugs are welded on, which is the traditional and labor-intensive way to make a case. After welding, the evidence of the weld is removed to create the sharp break between case band and lug profile. We have a Breguet logo on the crown, and then we have a little gadroon or strake. There are two lips, one to the case back and one to the bezel. They're actually symmetrical in profile that overlap and define the mid-case profile. There's a domed bezel giving way to a flat sapphire over a guilloche dial that is, as I mentioned, a disc of solid 18-karat gold. So what happens is the guillocheur, who operates the rose lathe, he programs his lathe and then he guides it by hand to create the various motifs. We have the dental pattern outboard for the minutes to be read. We have the satin finish around the hour track. We have a clou de Paris or pyramide at center. And then we have a lovely soleil pattern or sunburst that has been etched into the power reserve scale. You can also see that we have a cutout framing the 1-minute tourbillon, and the hands at center are fired blue made of steel. They are Breguet profile, and you can see the cannon pinion has been mirror polished at center. The little Breguet secret signature can be found adjacent to 1 and 11 at the top of the dial. The solid gold dial is silvered to create this aesthetic. So if you're asking why is the gold dial silver, because it is galvanized and silvered to create what you see here, a classical silver dial. Take note that the tourbillon does have its own fired steel hand. It acts as the seconds hand. It is a 1-minute tourbillon. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It is free sprung, adjusted in 6 positions for superb precision and stability against shock. And then it has an overcoil hairspring, a Breguet overcoil, of course, made by hand so that it will breathe concentrically in any orientation with respect to gravity. See how close we can get to the tourbillon without corrupting your view of it. It is hypnotic and bewitching. You can also see that the flanks of the tourbillon upper bridge have been satin finished and beveled on their edge. We have a combination here of fired blue screws holding the bridge in place, and then polished screws holding the tourbillon cage together. And you can see that the inner bridge has been specular finished or rounded and mirror polished, flanking the tourbillon pivot. Turn it all over and things get even better. This movement, 587DR, has been entirely freehand engraved and partially skeletonized. Automatic winding, it has a superb 5-day power reserve, pivots on 32 joules, as you can see, 6 position adjusted. 5 is the standard for chronometers. This is 6 position adjustment. You can see that the rotor has been entirely evacuated and skeletonized and engraved in Rococo form with a polished Breguet B logo. The edge of every bridge bridge. Despite the fact that engraving is the highlight, the edge of every bridge still has mirrored anglage. There's satination on the wheels. You can see solarization on some of the wheels, circular concentric satination on others. The crown wheel has been black polished on its top. We have many black polished screws on this case back with chamfered slots and chamfered circumference, and being entirely freehand engraved, no two of these movements will be identical. It's 30 meters water resistant, but please don't take it swimming. You can see in antiquarian form expressing the date of the creation of the original tourbillon. Breguet's prototype was probably made as early as 1795, but officially the tourbillon day in 1802, as of the patent, was June 26th. This is as good as it gets. For less than 60 grand, you can have a 5-day power reserve, full platinum, guilloche, solid gold dial, automatic winding Breguet tourbillon, or you've got about half as much money as it'll take to buy a 5711. I recommend you buy this. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing.